Alright, what's up folks, SK here, and today we're going to talk about progression in Black Desert Online. A lot of you guys are new to the game, and you guys get to this point where you level up, and you've been having a good time leveling up. It's been easy leveling up to, say, around level 50. And once you get to level 50, you're stuck because you're at like 45 AP, 50 AP. Maybe you've made it to 100 AP or 90 AP, and you're just stuck there. And you're trying to get to 55, 56 so you can get to your awakening, and you just don't know how to progress past that. This video is going to help you do that in pretty much just one simple, easy step. You don't want to farm the Sulas. Now, it sounds like a meme when I say it because a lot of people dog on the Sula wearers because, you know, they think everybody's supposed to be try-hard PvPers, but that's not the case. Asulas are a necessary stepping stone for getting to the next stage in grinding, which is your awakening, which is to get to your awakening pretty much. Once you get to your awakening, you can move on further than that, and then you can grind for other accessories that are better than the Sulas. But for you to get from 50 through 56, you're gonna need the Sulas. We don't have the dim magical earrings in the game anymore, and unless you're gonna go farm witches, which to be honest aren't as beneficial, because you can get a free 7 AP off of Souls instead of farming 4 witches and hoping that you can hit Pride to get 7 AP off of both of those. Or try to go higher and farm 6 of each to try to get a higher level. So just go ahead and go with the Asulas. What you're going to want to do for the Asulas, first of all, is you're going to want to go ahead and start at the lowest place you can get to with your AP. Now your AP is going to be, like I said, around the between the mark of like 70 to 90 at this point. You're gonna want to go to Bed and Iron Mine. This is where your first Asula piece drops. Not only one Asula piece drops here, I believe it's the necklace, and it's a low chance, but then they also have any weakened Asulas drops that are here as well. And the weakened Asulas drops, you can get 3 of these and you can make it into one Asula's piece. You can convert them into another Asula's piece, another weakened Asula's piece, and then make 3 of those to get, you know, another Asula's piece. So you can get like 3 necklaces, convert them into 3 rings, 3 weakened rings, and then make 1 Asula's ring. And then you have your ring, so you don't have to farm another ring. That's the first thing you want to do, is get that, because that gives you, I think, a good 11 AP. I don't have an Asula's piece on me right now. I think it gives you a good 11 AP. I might have one in storage. I'm not sure. Let me check. Should have one in storage. Have one on this character? No, I don't. She has nothing on her. I might have one in storage. Let me check. If it's not in storage, then I can't help you with the exact stat. I believe it's 11. No, I don't have it in storage. But I believe it's 11. It's free 11 AP. So that puts you into like the 110 mark if you're at 90 AP already. And then from there, you're going to want to go ahead and go up to your Helms. Now, Helms is kind of a dangerous area because people like to PK at Helms, because tryhards, of course. But once you have that Asula's piece, you're going to be at the 100 to 110 area, depending on what AP you were when you left this area over here. Now, heading from over here, you should at least have plus 15 weapons. That should be one thing you should have, is full plus 15 weapon and offhand weapons. That's why you should be close to 100 AP or 90 AP at max. You're gonna want to come to Helms, and from another video I said you might want to invest into the Helms post because you're gonna be here for a while. You're gonna be here until at least, I want to say 56, and the Asula drop rate is really low. You might get really lucky and get all 4 of them really quickly, because there are 4 pieces that drop here, and those are the rings and the earrings, and they give, I think, 7 AP a piece. So that's a quick, I can't do math right now, 28 AP. That's a quick 28 AP right there. That boosts you up until like 130 something. From there, you're going to be able to go to Elric's, and Elric's is where you're going to get your last Asula's piece. Elric's hit really hard. They do take a little bit to go down, but with getting those other 5 pieces first, that should allow you to go into Elric's and just like wipe through the area, get your last piece, and that should put you like around 150 AP, if not 160. Well, she'll put you around 150, and then when you get your first pry weapon and you get your awakening, your weapon to pry, and your offhand weapon to pry. That should get you to the 150, 160 mark. And from that point on, that's when you're going to go ahead and branch out. You should be at 56 at this point. From farming your soulless pieces, that should get you at least 55, 56. If you're not 56, just go ahead and grind out to 56. And that should be able to get you to your awakening. Now, your awakening weapon, all you're going to do from this point is enhance. And if you have the money, like, to just go ahead and buy your gear, then go ahead and just buy your gear. I suggest buying your gear because enhancing is very brutal in this game. Cron gang. But other than that, like, you're gonna have to enhance your gear to get to at least pry. 15 to pry is really easy. It's either 10 to 15 fail stacks. If you go over 15, if you go over 17, just hit the 20, save it, and then restart the stack. Don't push for a pry on 22 or 23 or anything higher than that. That's just ridiculous. Pry should be free pretty much. Pry and duo should be free. So from there, you're gonna want to get your weapon, your offhand to pry, of course, and then your awakening, of course, you're gonna want to get to pry as well. Now, when you get your awakening, you're gonna get a green weapon and you're gonna get a blue weapon. We're gonna go ahead and go into the marketplace and show you what those look like. So I screwed that up. We're gonna go to your awakening, and for the Lancia, that's what I'm using the Valkyrie right now. You're gonna get the Skurziel, I don't even know how to pronounce that. You're gonna get this Lancia, the green one, and you're gonna get the blue one. The green one is gonna come at plus 10 automatically off the bat. That's a good thing because it's pretty easy to get the green one to plus 15 and to get it to pry, to get it to duo. And it's pretty easy to get to try, to be honest. The blue one's a little bit harder to work with because the price is higher, of course. It does come at plus 0, so you're gonna have to work all the way up to the 15 enhancement yourself. To get to plus 15, it's not that easy. The enhancement chance is a lot lower. Now, if you somehow, for some reason, have a dandelion box and you're a new player, well, you're not gonna enjoy this part. Getting from 13 to 15 is gonna be the hardest trek of your life, and I promise you, you're gonna hate it. Unless you have like the godliest RNG carry, you're gonna hate getting from 13 to 15. But if you work on it and you get it and you don't end up, crying yourself to sleep at the end of the night, you'll have one of the best weapons in the game. So yay for that. Other than that, like I said, once you have one of these and you get them to plus 15, get them to try, get them to pry, get them to duo, then you're gonna be able to. And remember, once you get the blue or the green to whatever your final enhancement level is going to be, even if you get it to Tet or somehow get it to Pen, then you can go ahead and go to your enhancement upgrades. Either you're going to use your hero medallions, or you're just going to go ahead and buy one of these Ultimate Reform weapon stones, slap it on there. It's going to give you a few extra AP, and it's going to make your weapon yellow enhancement. Yellow grade. So the thing with that is, if you're going to be using Reform Stones, you're going to want to use. If you're going to be using memory fragments, you're going to want to use the Reform Stone after you enhance, because once you use the Reform Stone, it's going to make it to where your weapon is a higher grade, and memory fragments actually reduce how much max durability they recover. I'll talk about that in another video though. I do have an enhancement video coming up after this, but. So from there going on, you're going to have like around 170, 180 AP at this point. If you have your weapon to try, your offhand to try, and your main hand to try, you should be at like 170, 180 AP, depending on your class. If you're a Witcher Wizard, you're going to have it a lot easier because they have a AP buff. It was a 20 AP buff. But if you're every other class, you're going to have to have like, a good 170, 180 AP. You're going to have to carry pots, of course, unless you have a skill that brings back a lot of HP on hit. And you know what your CC skill is off the bat. So from this point, you're going to want to either go one of two ways. You're going to go to Bastions, and from this point, you're going to be using Marning Stones as well, unless you're going to be doing the questing level route. A lot of people have been doing questing level lately because it's a lot easier to just quest to level up rather than grind like 10 hours to get to the next level. I still prefer the old grinding route because that saves your quest for like the higher levels, and you can get a bit more EXP out of that. And it'll get you from, it'll take all your quests to get you from like 60 to 61 or whatever. It'll be a lot easier just to get to that point. I just prefer grinding as a whole. I hate questing just because there's a lot of quests that bug out and you have to relog and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not a fan of it. As far as that goes, you should be at a good point to where you can go to, like I said, you can go to Basham's if you're just going to go ahead straight to level, or you can make your way to Gaha's Bandits, which is up here. You're going to go straight to level. Now, neither of these drop accessories for you to progress, but if you're going to go straight into like more progression, you're going to want to go ahead and go to Crescents. They say 140 recommended AP, but I suggest you have like I said, around 160, 170. At 170 on my Valk, I think she's 160. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what her AP is. What is she right now? She's missing her stuff. Yeah, so like 170 on my Valk, I can clear Crescents pretty quickly. They're not that big of a deal for me. But she also has a self heal, so and they hit pretty hard. So you're gonna want to, like I said, have your potions, have your stuff ready. The Crescent area is pretty wide. They do drop Crescent rings, which is going to be your next level rings that you're going to be wearing. Hitting a Crescent ring to Pride puts it 1 AP above your Ursula's ring. So if you get 2 Pride, you're going to be 2 AP above your Ursula's ring right off the bat. The next thing after that, well, you're going to want to go ahead and try to get those to Duo, or maybe try if you feel like really lucky. I would stop at Duo and then take that and push past and then go over the Basilisk, because Basilisk is going to be your next area. You're going to be in that AP area. Hopefully you'll be in that AP area. If you have like food buffs on and stuff like that, remember, you can always use food buffs. They do give you a lot of added AP. Have your, not your night rations, but I think it's your Calpheon meal. I think that's the one that gives you AP, stacking AP plus accuracy and something else. I forgot what else it was. Then you also have your tent buff if you did buy your tent, and it gives you plus 10 AP, and you do have your villa buffs that you can get. Your villa buffs and your tent buffs don't stack, so I don't suggest you go ahead and get a villa buff and a tent buff. Get one or the other. I would say get the tent buff, because the tent buff is like something you can use on the go. You don't have to actually leave to go reapply it or whatever, and you can actually just buy your villa buff from your tent, to be honest. Now, when it comes to grinding in Basilisks do hit hard. It will take you a little bit to get them down if you're at like 170 AP, 180 AP. I would say be closer to 190 AP if you want to like just run through them, if you're not using food buffs. But if you're using food buffs, you should be able to run through them at 170 AP. Like, the buff should be enough to supplement over what you need to get you farming here, and that's where you're gonna get your belt at for your AP. I think it takes Duo for you to get over your Souls belt at that point from Basilisk, so it's gonna be a bit harder to AP climb at that point. AP climbing, once you get to like this level, is gonna be an actual, like, it's gonna require celebration if you do it, because your accessories break, your weapons degrade. Like I said, I have a whole enhancement video coming out later. But this is just progression. This is a progression video. I will go ahead and make another video as well when it comes to slow grade progression. This is just a rush through progression. I'm not stopping to like give you like, you know, all the small stuff you can do in between to get black stones and this and that. This is just a rush grade progression to get you from point A to point B as fast as possible. I do have a video up where you can grind from 1 to 55 in like 3 hours or something like that. No, it's 1 to 50 in 3 hours, and then 50 to 55 in like an hour and a half. So go ahead and check that one out. And pretty much it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.